Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stump back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're going to dive into PKA level 149, technically. But look, I'm going to call this, like, PKA level 150. I don't even care. Like, you can clear level 150. If you can clear level 149, you can clear level 150. And look, hopefully the team actually clears it. It should. It has plenty of damage in it, and it has a lot of drops. With the Super Evolutions of Sobermask and S-Bear, you're getting 1 drop respectively, and then we're getting the extra 3 drops from our Alba Friend Captain. So no matter what, you're getting at least 5 drops with this particular team. Then you have a potential of an extra 3 drops with Zoro, Mihawk, and Luffy. Obviously, Luffy's only a 0.3% chance, or whatever it is, 0.3 multiplier for that drop. The Zoro and the Mihawk, I believe, are like 0.5 and 0.75 respectively. So, you're getting a lot of drops with this team. Up to 8 drops, guaranteed 5, so it should work out quite nicely. Now, it's pretty free-to-play friendly too. You can do some fun stuff with Luffy Lucci, with Zoro Kaku, the Rare Recruit Stussy, but I figured a lot of people probably skipped a lot of those half Annie and Worldwide Celebration batches, and I feel like this particular team being very free-to-play friendly kind of works out a little bit nicer for you guys if you're trying to get your PKA level 150 runs done. Now, obviously, the support Rare Recruits, they're in a little bit of a different kettle of fish. Obviously, like Brule, they missed some support, and the VV support, being illustrious support Rare Recruits, are a little bit harder to come by. However, there are some different options that you guys can do. You can bring the Hio support on Luffy. That's going to remove 2 turns of Threshold. You're then going to need to take 2 turns on stage 4, basically hit a good tap with Luffy, so then that way you can get the cooldowns and stuff like that. And then you can also utilize stuff like Nami, the Legend Nami on Zoro. That way you're going to get the cooldowns there. Because you are going to get paralyzed by keeping one of those mob members alive. But like I said, you can do a lot of different stuff. This is what the setup that I actually brought when I did my initial run. I couldn't do, obviously, voiceover and stuff like that just because of reasons, unfortunately. Due to family time and stuff like that, it gets a little bit hard to sort of sit down and record like I'm doing now. But as for the ship, you have freedom to bring any ship that you guys like. Like, it doesn't really matter. I would recommend running something that just has your highest attack boost. For me, it's the Arlong Shark Superb. But I figured, let's just go with like a staple ship that a lot of people would have leveled up. Whether that be the Whale Shark ship, maybe the Ho ship, or the Going Merry. They're probably like the big 3 that most people have leveled up. So we're going to take this team in. I'm going to do a bit of a run through and explain how it works. If you guys haven't done so already, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Let's dive in. Alright, so as I mentioned, we're going to bring Alba as a friend captain for this team. That guarantees us that extra 3 drops. But remember, if you guys don't have Alba friend captains on your list, and if you guys are struggling to build this team, I did put out a very high damage 200 plus team that'll definitely clear it well past level 200, pretty much until the damage cap comes around. So if you guys want to use that particular team, I'll leave a link in the description below for you, so you can check that out and get it done with Verse Luffy and Rush Ace as the respective leaders. So we're basically just going to tap through these first couple stages. There's nothing really too crazy here. Just remember the Sobermask and S-Bear, they're actually not getting the captain multiplier from both Alba as well as Luffy. Luffy's buffing Dex and Int characters, while Alba's buffing Driven and Slashes, so just be mindful of that. On turn 3, you come up against Caesar, you're going to get Despaired here. There's also 6 turns of Special Bind, and that's where the Zoro special comes into play. Zoro not only removes the Special Bind, but he gives you 3 turns of a Chain Edition buff, which is really, really handy, because you're going to carry that into the next stage. Plus, he gives himself all that cooldown, so you can use his special once again on the final stage, which works out great. We're going to use the super type of Alba here as well. That's going to give us a full board of what's it called? That's going to give us a full board of, well, not full board, the right-hand column Wano Orbs, and then Lockout Orbs. Basically just helps out with Sobermask getting a Wano Orb on this particular stage. Realistically, all he does, besides the Orb Manipulation, is just give that final type buff, so you can use that here and still keep the buff for the final stage. Against Monet and the Lackeys, they're going to give you a bit of a HP cut. They're going to give you Paralysis Orbs in the middle, lock your orbs, reverse your top right and middle right character by 4 turns. And then they're also going to, she's also going to give you just bind on everyone else. So that's why Alba once again comes into play. Alba's just going to take care of all of the bind, just like he did the Despair. We're pretty much absolutely fine from there. We're going to use the Mihawk special. Mihawk's going to give us 2 turns of cooldowns to our Free Spirit and our Slash units, which means that Sobermask is going to get that cooldown, as well as our Luffy Captain. We can then use the Sobermask special, so that way we get an attack boost. So that way we should be able to easily take this stage out. Remember, Sobermask is not getting a captain ability, so start the chain with him. So that way you can carry the carry the chain into your slasher characters and basically kill everyone here. Remember, you are changing up supports. You do want to keep one of the mob members alive, so that way you actually get inflicted with the paralysis, and that way you're utilizing the Nami support to actually get that extra turn of cooldown. So that's how we take out Monet though. Like you have plenty of damage, man. Like with the chain boost, the attack boost, the orb buff, like you have heaps and heaps of damage. Plus you should have a full board of Wano orbs because you get a full board of quick orbs on that stage as well. And Alba makes quick orbs into Wano, which helps out a great deal. On the final stage against Monet, you get some more bind depending on who your captain is, and then she does resistance up depending on what type your captain is. She has 7 turns of threshold, gives you 6 turns of attack down and burn, and then yeah, that's pretty much all she does. She's got a full immunity except for defense down as well, which is pretty easy to get around. So what we want to do first here is we're going to use the Luffy super type. Luffy super type is going to give us color affinity to our Dex and our Int characters. He also gives us an overrideable attack and orb buff, which is pretty handy. We can then use our Zoro special to remove 2 turns of the threshold. Remember, Vivi's also removing 2 turns of the threshold as well as giving us the resistance down. So now we're looking at 3 turns of the threshold to deal with, and having the triple special activation of Esper is going to help out with that. On top of the triple activation, removing all of the threshold, Esper is actually removing all the attack down as well. However, Luffy also removes attack down, so his special is basically going to do that as well. Upside to having triple special activation on Esper is that Sober Mask will be ready to go once again. So as you can see there, Sober Mask special is ready. We get a much bigger rainbow attack boost now, rather than Luffy's attack boost that's only for Dex and in characters. But the upside to Luffy is if you have an attack boost and an orb buff, which is the overrideable ability, he gives you the this little tap timing boost the chain multiplier ability. Finally, we can finish it off with Alba. Alba's going to apply the burn. He gives defense down and some resistance. I believe he does like the final tap buff more, like the more final tap buff as well. But at the end of the day, like we don't really care about that too much. Unfortunately, we do still have a paralysis orb on our Esper. So you can start the chain with him and then sort of go around. Just make sure as long as you finish with your 4 slasher characters, you are going to be absolutely fine here. So let's do that. Esper unfortunately gets the paralysis there. I'm going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful stuff. So just getting the job done for 150. I imagine 150 would be fine. The damage there is pretty tight. Like it's pretty tight. But like I said, if you guys are struggling for damage on this particular stage, then I would definitely just sort of pivot into that other team that doesn't use any of the boosted characters. Once you kind of hit 150, you're not utilizing the final boss to farm totals anyway. Like realistically, you should be utilizing the mini bosses at level 1 to farm up your total gains there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.